What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, joined as always by Michael Hurley. We are a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. The show is brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Michael, the Patriots won, but they also, you know how they say there's no such thing as a bad win? This is about as close as you could possibly get to a bad win.
Okay. And that's for two reasons, right? Like we'll get into it, but two reasons.
Yeah.
One is
the Patriots played poorly.
Well, I would start with Will Campbell. We're assuming the worst there. But even assuming the best, let's say it's not a season-ending injury, playing any amount of time without him is going to be problematic. So that's one. Feels tough. I understand that. Two, Patriots played poorly. I think you saw flaws today that make you think, probably not going to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I think this resets expectations again. We talked about that after, I forgot which win it was, the Bucs win, how that reset expectations in a positive way.
Right.
I think this levels out how the expectations exceeded even what we were talking about over the last few weeks of people genuinely talking about, okay, they could win this, they could make this Super Bowl, they could win the Super Bowl. I think I've got the same thought as I did back then after the Bucs win. Enjoy this season for what it is. I think at this point, it's hard to talk about this without knowing the diagnosis for Will Campbell's injury. But anytime that you see a guy get carted off the field with a towel wrapped around his face, not wanting to show it to cameras, the way some of the players were talking about it after the game, I have no inside knowledge whatsoever about what Will Campbell's injury is. But if you assume the worst, then it means he's not going to play again this season. If you assume the best, probably means he's still going to be out a couple of weeks.
Right. Like beating the Giants becomes difficult without Will Campbell. Doing anything without Will Campbell becomes difficult. So I understand that. I'll come at you. I've got a really divergent road out of this game. Okay. There's that one, which I'm with you. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to get to 6 snaps from the 1 yard line that resulted in 0 touchdowns.
Oh boy.
We're going to get into all of the issues you saw on display today and just sort of like you said, a bad win, right? But it's a win. And then they have the other one, right? The perspective one. Do you want me to start with the perspective? Maybe it's a little sweet to your sour, maybe a little
absolutely go positive.
A little yin to your yang. How many NFL teams, this is a rhetorical question, how many NFL teams this year have an unblemished perfect road record?
Is there one? Is it the New England Patriots?
The New England Patriots are the only NFL team without a road loss this year. And there are some bad ones, like the Eagles just lost on the road for a second time. Their other loss, they're the defending champions, if you know. Their other loss was at the Giants. Like teams lose on the road to teams they're not supposed to beat. And I think this is another case this year.
Call them Hawk and Animal because they're the road warriors. I butchered that.
You really did. You really screwed it up. You really pooped on that one. But no.
I mushmouthed that one.
So I'm not going to sit here and tell you like, wow, what a win. Can you believe it? But I'm going to tell you they won, and that makes them 6-0 on the road. They have 2 road games left at the Jets, at the Ravens. A chance to have a 7-1 road record, possibly even 8-0, is
pretty darn solid.
Remarkable and similar. I'm a similar thought to you where like when Mike Vrabel got this job in January, right? January? And immediately started cutting players, changing the coaching staff, changing the front office, had a good draft, had a good free agency. None of us, not you, not I, even though we're the smartest people in the world, no one said, Super Bowl, they're going to the Super Bowl. Right. I know I thought, wow, this roster is about 30 deep. They're still a couple years away from really building a very good team. Yet here they are at 10-2. So I think big picture, overall perspective thought, I think it's okay to just ride this one out, enjoy what you're seeing with lower expectations than you're used to having in New England from
10-2 is crazy. It's crazy that they're 10-2. It's wild. They won 9 straight games.
I think, did I write 8 or 9? You ever had that stress where you're like, did I write trying to turn an 8-game win streak into a 9-game win streak?
No, because I've never written anything wrong in my life, so I've never had that.
No. But there's been this sort of thought process drilled in this region to at least certain people, like young people probably don't even know it. But it was like, if you don't win the championship, the year's a waste. That's sort of been the thought.
But you cannot look at this season that way.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sure they will figure out a way to do that, but you can't
No.
look at this season as being a disappointment if they don't make the Super Bowl.
It's fine if you do. I just think it's a
No, you
little
can't.
over.
You're not allowed.
I think it's a little unrealistic, and expectations and fan expectations and hopes and dreams, those can be unrealistic. So I don't fault anyone for that. I just think generally, like you said, 10-2 is silly. In this game,
Crazy.
this game sucked.
Yeah.
And yet they won it. They keep winning. So I don't want to go too far. Like, we're going to go into all that other stuff, but I think that's where I'm coming from today.
So let's start off with the Will Campbell injury. Once again, we don't know what it is at this point, and that's unfortunate, obviously. But they appeared to do testing of his knee.
Sorry, I'm celebrating not the injury. I wrote a win streak from 8 to 9. Nailed it.
Nice.
All right, carry on.
So it appeared as though they were doing the test of the knee on the field when he was down. They later called it a knee injury. Went to the blue medical tent, then got carted from the blue medical tent to the locker room, had the towel over his face. Players at the podium, at the locker room, we're all kind of talking as if it was the worst. Stephon Diggs did say, like, hey, hopefully it's not as bad as we think. So they're even thinking it sounds like. But we'll just have to see. In the meantime, or maybe for the long term, whatever it is, looks like Vederian Lowe is going to be the guy at left tackle. Because when Morgan Moses went down, Marcus Bryant went in at right tackle. When Will Campbell went down, Vederian Lowe goes in at left tackle. And that was after Marcus Bryant had already left the game. So looks like it's going to be Vederian Lowe. Last 2 seasons of Vederian Lowe did not go very well. I don't think anyone thinks any differently. I will say, though, that the Patriots' offensive line coaching and their offensive coaching in total is significantly better this year than it was those last 2 years. Their quarterback is better this year than they were the last 2 years. And the offensive linemen around Vederian Lowe are better than they were the last 2 years. So I'm certainly not saying that Vederian Lowe can be Will Campbell, because I think that Will Campbell has played very, very good. But I don't know that it's going to be as bad as it was in 2023 and 2024, just because Vederian Lowe could be back at left tackle.
I guess, Doug.
Was it an outright disaster today? I know it was only half.
It's not good. And Marcus Bryant's brief stint at right tackle wasn't good either. There was the touchdown
Ben
play,
Brown
right?
looked a little uncomfortable at left guard as well.
Ben Brown got a little bit overwhelmed on that third down where his man just completely pushed him into Drake Maye. So no, it's problematic, and it's indicative of the issue we've pointed out going back to training camp. When I was asking you, like, does anyone else take reps at left tackle? And the answer was no. Like, Will Campbell is the left tackle.
Yeah.
And if he gets hurt, you're screwed. Or if at that time we were saying if he's not good, you're screwed. But he's been good. So now you're screwed just later. So I don't know. I guess you could be optimistic for those reasons about Vederian Lowe, but I'm not. I think it's going to be a problem. And this is a team that already can't run the ball at all. And the reason you are 10-2 largely is because you can throw the hell out of that ball. You can throw the piss out of it. And if Drake Maye is back to being 2024 Drake Maye in terms of getting the snap and running for his life, it's none of these games are going to be cinches the way that we thought this one would be, and the way that we think a number will be going forward.
I think that's why this game was so concerning. I think to me is that this should have been a Drake Maye MVP candidacy boost type of game. You're playing the worst defense in the league. Trey Hendrickson's out. Cam Taylor-Britt's out. Joe Flacco's at quarterback. It's not Joe Burrow. Like, your defense can make plays and turn it over. Like, it should have been a 300 to 400 yard performance. Like you're saying, 3-4 touchdowns, whatever. And it wasn't that. And I do wonder, coming out of this game, how many teams in the NFL could the Patriots have beaten today?
Like the Jets, probably.
Right.
I put the Jets on that list.
Titans.
Maybe they wouldn't have beaten the Falcons. They wouldn't have beaten the Falcons
Seahawks today.
Remember the Falcons game? They had a chance to blow that one out of the water and ended up tooth and nail. Needed a missed extra point to win. Like, that's not a game.
I don't even know if you're beating the Saints in this game.
Depends which Saints team you get, I guess. Today the Saints didn't look too good.
Definitely not beating the Bills. Definitely not beating the Ravens.
Yeah, no, it was a bad day. I think it was bad even across the board. Like, I don't think Mike Vrabel had a good day. I don't think Josh McDaniels had a good day. I don't think Zach Kerr had a good day. There were so many issues up and down the board that you're right. I don't think, which, wow, tells you really the Bengals are terrible. But
I mean, it's certainly in their current state, like without their starting quarterback, starting wide receiver, without Trey Hendrickson, without Cam Taylor-Britt, like they were and then T. Higgins leaves the game. That was late, but still, like
they
in
were
their
probably
current state, they might have been the worst team in the NFL today, based on their current state.
And they were probably a Jamar Chase away from winning, because we know Flacco isn't afraid to throw to him 20 times in a game. And maybe that might have made the difference, because they just were clearly undermanned. They had a guy, Charlie Jones, on a deep shot early on, and they're like, he has not caught the ball this year, but there he is running into double coverage and getting a ball thrown at him. So thin on the receiving core outside of those guys. But yeah, you're probably right. I think, but ultimately still, it was another case. There's probably another game that I'm missing.
Well, listen, not to cut you off here, but if T. Higgins is on the field in the final drive, the Bengals might win that game.
Probably. Yeah, possibly. But yeah, probably, because you have like
what? Yeah. Seriously, I mean, it came down to that, honestly, in this game.
But I want to say there's another game I'm blanking on. That was 2 weeks ago. They beat the Jets, and before that they beat the Bucks. Maybe it was the Bucks. Maybe it was the Falcons. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it was the Jets. But a game where you feel kind of ugly about a lot of it. But in crunch time, in the fourth quarter, the Patriots ended up making the plays. They had 3 pass breakups in the final, 5 plays of the game. And
they had 4 on the final drive. Carlton Davis had 3, and Marcus Jones had the game crunching one. Yeah.
Which was on the razor's edge, but they didn't call it. So we get to talk about it as a PBU. Right. But again, they made plays, and whether they should or shouldn't have been down in the mud with the Bengals is a different conversation. But once in there, they made the plays to at least roll out of there with a win, which again, I still feel is better than getting out and being like, damn, we lost. We learned this, we learned X, we learned Y. If I'm on a team, I'd like to learn those lessons in a win.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I do think that if you had to pick between winning and losing Will Campbell and Jared Wilson, and losing and not losing those guys,
that wasn't the math, Mr. I know. Mr. Equation Changer.
Well, yes, I think the math of, do you want to win the game or lose the game? I think you would rather win the game and lose those lessons, learn those lessons. Absolutely.
And it's different than, like, I remember the 2016 Patriots lost at home to the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. That was a good loss. You know, when you're a championship team and you need to sort of have your cracks exposed so you can work on them and see them. Right. Patriots at Steelers 2018, a good loss. It taught them how to win.
It kind of brings you back down to earth if you're those teams that are riding really high. I still don't think this Patriots team is like a, maybe they were riding a little bit high heading into this game.
Well, the first quarter, and especially Drake Maye early, 2 for 5 early, some awful throws. I received multiple tweets, Doug. I tweeted out one video. When he threw it to the flat, Henderson was there and someone else was running, and he just kind of threw it in between them with like a short arm half throw.
Was that the no look one?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I received multiple tweets asking me if Drake Maye was point shaving because of how bad he looked early. He missed Mac Hollins, I believe. He missed Stephon Diggs the first play of the second quarter, right before the pick six was like 6 feet off target. And then obviously the pick six was tremendously overthrown. So I don't know if that was a weird week where people are talking about him as MVP and him fighting with Cam Newton, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But he stunk early in this game.
I had a genuine concern at one point in the game. Does Drake Maye have the yips? I was like, does he actually have the yips? Because the ball was even just coming out of his hand weird. He was like holding it for too long while throwing it, which is something that someone like with the yips would have. Like, oh, I forgot how to throw a ball. Like, that's what it looked like from my 200-foot view or however high up I am. He didn't think the ball was coming out of his hand. Weird. He said that after the game. But it seemed so off. And obviously it's a positive that he did wind up rounding into shape. I think overall still his worst game of the season or one of them. Usually we see him dominate a little bit more in the first half and then maybe tail off a little bit in the second half. This was reversed, where if he has the second half first and then has this first half in the second half, maybe we're not as concerned about it. But still, he was a, spoiler alert, he's going to be a doom in this game.
See, I wouldn't go as far to say doom. I mean, the pick six was awful. 87.1 rating, by the way, would be his second lowest of the game, behind Tampa, ahead of Vegas.
Yeah.
I would still say Pittsburgh was his worst game because he just kept, he had the fumbles, right?
Right. Yeah.
But not quite passing. That was a 102.1 rating. So, haha. Anyways, that was not the equation either, whatever math you just did. If you could flip-flop the halves, and then we'd look at it differently. I do think
yeah,
the 3rd and 11 bomb to Pop Douglas was like vintage Drake Maye, which we can say now because he's been doing it for multiple months. So it was vintage Drake Maye.
Yes.
The 3rd and 8 or 10 conversion to Diggs in the fourth quarter was, I thought, his best play of the game, where they needed to drain clock. Obviously, they didn't get as far as they wanted, but it was a 3rd down conversion that they needed. That was a good one. He fit a tight window throw to Hooper in the second quarter, where it was like, oh, that's Drake Maye. It was over one hand, it was over another hand, it was right on the money, and you're like, oh, okay. So he did sort of look like himself thereafter, but what made it more difficult, obviously, is he lost his entire left side of his offensive line. So
pretty surprisingly high EPA per play by Drake Maye today, 0.21, 55% success rate, negative completion percentage over expected, but 63.6 QBR. Like, I don't know, numbers wise, wasn't awful, obviously. It's still what most quarterbacks in the NFL would take. But I think just eye test looked off. It looked off.
Yeah. I have a take similar to that, or related to that.
A Drake take?
It's not a Drake take. It's a stat, numerical data, analytics take. You're probably not going to like it. You're probably going to tell me I'm a fool. I think I'm out on DVOA. Just think I'm out on it.
Interesting.
Just if that was the worst DVOA defense in the history of the NFL, I didn't see it. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I got out of that. When you're talking about
worst defense in the history of the NFL,
it tells me that doesn't matter.
It should look worse than that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't really do like the Chat GPT, but like Chat GPT, are you listening? Draw me up the conference champions for the past 20 years and give me their NFL rank in DVOA. And if they're like always top 5, then I'll probably be like, cool. If they're not, I'll be like, I don't really need it. It's just another metric. Just another metric. That's my DVOA take.
I mean, I will say, we can get into it. When you run 6 plays from your 1 yard line, it was 6 total in the game, right? Because we're not including the pass interference.
So it was
the defensive pass interference.
I'd have to double check, but they got to the 1,
and then
failed.
They ran
I think that does include the pass interference.
So it was 5 on that drive, but then they ran another one later in the game from the 1 and still didn't get in. So
that was the QB sneak. That was the QB sneak.
Right.
So if I just type in Cincinnati 1 and find that, I can get you that number if you just give me like 3 seconds. Could you have 3 seconds to give me?
I don't. I actually don't have 3 seconds.
All right, move on then.
All right. Well, I could too, actually. I don't think it's gonna be that easy though.
I got it. No, I got it.
Okay.
You want it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, ready? You ready now?
You're counting.
I got it. I lost it.
So it was 6 on the first drive, and then there was a 7th on the and then a 7th later. But one of the 6 was the defensive pass interference. So we're not going to count that.
Okay.
Right?
But was one of the 6 also the offensive pass interference?
Yeah, but we can count that.
Okay. Because it was an offensive failure.
Right. Yeah.
So they ran 3rd and 4th
total.
down.
Yeah.
So subtract the 4th down. Then they had 1st down, Jennings for no gain. You had the OPI. You had a really cool play on 2nd and goal from the 11, the little inside flick to Hunter Henry.
Yeah, it was. That was a big 10 yards. They did nothing with it, but it was a big 10 yards.
Awesome play. Liked that one. Had that down as a Josh McDaniels moment in my notes. I don't think we'll be praising him much in the podcast. 3rd and 1, Stevenson no gain. 4th and 1, Stevenson no gain. Just some bad stuff there. And then later they were on Henderson got stopped on the 1-inch line, and May couldn't score in the QB sneak. And then I don't know if you saw Vrabel on TV, they showed him just throw up the 3 with such utter disgust and disdain for where
they
he
needed
was at.
to do it to make it a 2-score game, but he wanted to go for it there too.
Well, and it's double-edged. We're going to talk about the offensive side of it, but the reason I think it's always 100% the right call to go for it on 4th and goal from the 1 yard line when the other team has Joe Flacco at quarterback is you are 5 seconds away potentially from a safety if you don't get it. But instead of that, they allow a 12-yard Chase Brown run up the gut, like untouched. Just a horrible defensive play when you got to know, like you got to get a little juiced up at the goal line. Like
Defensive line misses Milton Williams big time.
Yeah, I would say so. And that was one case. The 21-yard run before halftime. The run defense was, for the first time we can say this year, bad.
Yeah, it was bad,
and that did not help.
Not a surprise. You lose Khyiris Tonga in the second half. You lose Milton Williams for 4 games. I think the run defense is going to continue to be an issue because it was an issue after Milton Williams left against the Jets as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll get into the Giants and all that stuff later, but there's a lot of major concerns in this game. And Ramondre Stevenson coming off the toe injury, you've got to be able to get a yard, even with the offensive line situation that you've got. Like the Bengals do not obviously have a stout run defense, and that's where we go back to like your DVOA discussion. The worst defense in the history of the NFL is going to allow a touchdown on 6 plays from the 1 yard line. They're going to allow at least one touchdown.
I think they're going to allow 6 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah.
They're going to allow a touchdown every time. Like the Hunter Henry touchdown is the type of defense I expected to see out of the worst defense in NFL history, where they bite so badly in the play action. The middle linebacker, I won't name anyone, not because I don't know who it was or remember who it was, but because I don't want to shame them. It's not a Bengals podcast. Not only did they sort of bite on the play action.
It's not Cat's Chat.
It's not Cat's Chat. Not only did he bite on the play action, it was
I'm
like a
so
fake
quick on those, by the way.
I know.
I just want some credit for that.
If we were talking guns, it would be Gat's Chat. But he bit on the play action jet sweep action to Pop Douglas and just kind of stayed there in the middle. Like, all right, well, I'm here now. And then for whatever reason, he broke toward the line of scrimmage. Like, I'll just do this. Meanwhile, Hunter Henry's just wide open in the end. But those are the types of breakdowns I thought you see. And early on, there was a third down run. Henderson converted it, and it was just easy. Like, he barely got it because the blocking wasn't good. But it didn't need to be good because there was just this massive gap between the guard and the tackle. And it's like, these are the types of plays I expected, and I did not see them. And now, was that entirely the Patriots? Like, it's hard to judge when the defense was supposed to be as bad as we thought.
No, it's absolutely true. Let's talk real quick before we keep going about Prize Picks, because this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Our Prize Picks did not go very well this week. Drake Maye, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. He only had 1. Drake Maye, more than 251.5 passing yards. He got 294.
Career
Joe
high.
Flacco, though, I had him for more than 227.5 passing yards. Only had 183. So strong on that one. Even with that final drive that the Patriots were just in the second to last drive. I guess if that defensive pass interference was a catch, that would have cut into that a little bit, but still no.
No. Are you a Ted Lasso viewer?
What's the first season?
What's the I can't think of the character's name. The grumpy veteran. This is bad. He's like the best character on the show.
I don't know. You're gonna have to. I'm not. No one's bailing you out on this one.
That's tough. I'll get it. Just give me a second. It's Roy Kent.
Okay,
Roy
yes.
Kent. So he's sort of the miserable, grumpy, bearded veteran who's just kind of. Flacco reminds me of him, just not funny or charming. He just looks miserable. I don't understand why he seems to like still playing, but he does not look like he just when he checked out with the finger thing.
How many times in your life have you seen Joe Flacco smile?
Probably back in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
A little bit more when he was 23 years old or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. He just I don't see the joy out there, and I get it's hard to have joy in that situation, but I don't know. You don't have to play football.
I will say though, I think it might be time to start fading our Prize Picks, but you can download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Did we want to keep going on specific moments from the game? Do we want to do booms and dooms? What are you thinking?
I had something to finish what you're saying about Ramondre Stevenson.
For sure.
We'll do. This is like
I guess he could have made the dooms list.
This is a side Prize Picks. This is just me. This is unofficial. These aren't sanctioned. Pick what happened. More or less carries 5. for Stevenson today? How many do you think he had?
Oh, he had more.
Yeah, he had 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Yards, more or less 4.5.
Did he have less than 4.5 yards?
No, he did have more. He had 5.
Oh,
He
okay,
had
I was
6
gonna say I
carries,
thought he had 6 for 5. Yeah.
6 for 5 with a long of 3. Not good. And to get 2 goal line carries, Terrell Jennings got 1, which was his only touch of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was just alarming. And I think that's sort of the sobering point today. If you're like even putting the Will Campbell stuff aside, I think you're looking at this team thinking like, that weakness is very real.
It is. It's funny because it was very real early in the season. Then I think, not to use a phrase that's now become famous on ESPN mornings, but I do think there might have been some
He's going to do it.
rushing performances for the Patriots.
Well,
where Trevion Henderson, obviously, if he can have a 55 or 69-yard carry every game, the rushing totals are going to look a lot better. But when he doesn't, then it's going to be an issue. And I think there's been probably more games than not that they've averaged less than 4 yards per carry this season, right?
Yeah, it's bad. And then like the Stevenson, I mean the Henderson bump when Stevenson was out, I think was believable, but I don't know. Oro de Tontos, Spanish for fool's gold. Let's just mix it up a little.
Because I mean Henderson, 18 carries for 66 yards. Like that's kind of been who he's been this year. If he doesn't rip off a long run.
Yeah, he had a ton of like 7-yard runs, and you're like, those are good, those are fine. But
right, and then
a ton of
the zeros and the
runs.
ones and the whatever drag that back down.
You do,
and I still think that you should probably be playing over Ramondre Stevenson as long as Ramondre Stevenson is going to be playing as poorly as he did today.
Yeah,
but
he started.
It's not always going to be a home run from Trevion Henderson, and when it's not, you're going to have some trouble running between the tackles.
And it felt like they came out and they wanted to establish the run earlier. I think if you could go back and do it again, you wouldn't do that because it didn't work. They came out the first drive.
Well, yeah.
Handoff, pass, handoff, pass, incomplete, punt.
Right.
And then I think the second drive again featured more runs than passes when they're down 3-0. And it's just, they don't have the running game to do that. And even at full strength. And as they kept losing linemen left and right, like it was never going to get better. So I don't know how you fix that. I don't know that you can fix it. The answer was always more Drake Maye. But if you now have Ben Brown and Vidarian Lowe at the left tackle and left guard spot, I'm not sure. I really think I look at, we're not previewing the Giants game. I think that game is going to be difficult. I think
it could
be. Like the Jets game could be like so many games could be difficult if that's what you're looking at.
I mean, the Giants played tough against the
Lions. They almost beat them.
Yeah,
well, almost. They pulled
I
off.
don't know
like
who's
7.
Gonna be a quarterback for the Giants.
I think Gunnar Olszewski threw a touchdown to Jameis Winston.
He did,
if I'm not mistaken. So there was some silliness like from start to finish. I think they had a flea flicker for a touchdown on the first drive. So they might have used up all their junk, but still.
Right. No, I think it's fortunate maybe that's a long week. They've got 3 long weeks in a row, which if you have a late bye, I think that's at least helping you out a little bit. So they go Thursday into Sunday, Sunday into Monday, and then an actual bye after Monday. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's the running game is an issue. Run defense has been an issue. I think they're going to continue to miss Milton Williams as you go forward here. I don't know if you can trust that you can really stop any run game. And even some of the guys who are supposed to be excellent on defense otherwise have not stepped up the way that you expect them to. So let's get into booms and dooms.
Okay.
We can do some more leftover thoughts obviously later. But
can I give you a quick one real quick? I want to do this.
Go ahead.
Just because Vidarian Lowe, just PFF, again, just one metric. It's not the metric. How do they have Will Campbell this year? Do you know off the top of your head, like what their
I think he had like a 72 grade. He had a higher pass block.
His pass blocking grade is a 75. So this is actually encouraging if you subscribe to the PFF grading scale. Vidarian Lowe last year, I just lost it, was a 66.9.
He's better as a left tackle than he is as a right tackle.
I don't know that I love that grade of 66.9. Now, granted, it was 36.0 in 2023. So you've seen two different Vidarian Lowe's. But
he was playing a lot of right tackle in 2023.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That Dolphins game was tough. Anyways, I think, if you're going from 75 to 67 by one metric, you can probably get by better than people like Michael Hurley have argued for the past half hour.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see what the severity of Will Campbell's injury is. We'll probably find out tomorrow. But very discouraging to see him go down today, obviously, specifically. Boom. I am going to give my first boom to Marcus Jones.
Okay.
You want to give it to Hunter Henry, I'm going to give it to Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones had a pick 6, and he also made the game-clinching pass breakup. Hunter Henry had a great game. We can get into that in a second. Marcus Jones continues to kind of pound the table and make a case for All-Pro, Pro Bowl, whatever you want to do. He's been just making plays all season.
Mm-hmm.
Took a little bit of a downturn after he signed the contract, but today was right back at it. He's been doing great in the slot. And today was he made 2, like if he doesn't make those 2 plays, the Patriots lose this game.
Do you want to hear some real disrespectful stuff?
Sure.
You could have made that pick 6. What was Joe Flacco doing? He had his receiver. He had his running back sitting there, and he pumped him and then pumped again and then just threw. Marcus Jones almost overran the ball. That's how bad that one was. So, yeah, good play. I'm not going to go crazy about that one. And he got a demerit. It was demerit for that. Not for that. He got a demerit for allowing the 4th down catch to Mitchell.
That's fair. Mitch Tinsley.
On the final drive. Went right through his hands. Break it up. It's 4th down. You don't need the pick. You don't need the pick.
True.
4th down. Went right through his hands.
Yeah.
That was not a good play. And then again, the score sheet says PBU on Mike Gesicki at the end. If you saw a flag fly there, I don't think anyone in New England would have been upset. You saw all his teammates looking around like, no. Oh, yeah.
By the way, the funniest defensive pass interference I've ever seen was Dax Hill's first one on Kayshon Boutte, because he he interfered to the degree that he didn't react whatsoever when there was a flag. Just had absolutely zero reaction whatsoever. It never happens. He knew exactly what he did for the exact reason that he did it. He didn't want to allow a touchdown. He didn't want to allow a deep touchdown there. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to just make you not catch this ball. I don't care if it's a DPI.
Yeah. No, yeah. Boutte was the MVP of that drive with two pass interference. Didn't touch the ball, but drew two pass interferences. But no, I thought those were demerits in my mind. So Jones didn't make my booms despite the pick six.
What?
Yeah, he didn't make my
despite
booms.
The game clinching PBU.
Carlton Davis made my booms. Despite the pass interference, which I think, despite his objection, I think it was a legit call because he had the right arm wrapped. If the right arm wasn't wrapped, that would have been one of the best pass breakups of all time.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually interfered with him, but it's like they're going to call that.
There was a lot of contact from T. Higgins on that play.
Well, Higgins' left arm contact, because he was trying to catch the ball, and he was literally in his chest at that point. Yeah. So it was very well timed. I just think that right arm, but the three pass breakups on the final drive were awesome. So Carlton Davis made my list over Marcus Jones.
Carlton Davis was great. I mean, three pass breakups on one drive is sort of unheard of.
Again, again, Joe Flacco, he's throwing some lollies out there, but they all count.
But no, I mean, I talked to him after the game. He was
pissed.
He was pissed. He thought that it was BS. He thinks that officials are targeting him this season, because he said that as he goes through the game, officials are like, oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. So he's like, there's a reason they're saying that. Clearly someone's telling them to watch out for me interfering. He said that he knew that T. Higgins did that on go routes, like kind of baited guys into it and has a lot of contact. So, and then he said that, like, yeah, he was really mad after the defensive pass interference penalty. And he's like, there's no chance that I am going to lose this game for the team. And he kind of put the team on his back there on the final drive. And maybe someone has to say something like really mean to Carlton Davis right before every game, just so that we get that version of Carlton Davis throughout the entire game.
Vrabel should pay an official, like a side judge or a back judge, like just throw a flag on Davis early, get him all pissed off. I don't care how many yards.
Like a real inconsequential one, real ticky tack.
Well, that was a 27-yarder. That was a big one. Just so if you're willing to do that, you can take any flag, really. So yeah, I think I I'm not with him. I understand his frustration because the left arm in the like his helmet went into T. Higgins' jaw as the ball came. Like there's a great photo of it where it's just two heads and a ball, like right there. But I do think just that little wrap on the right. And again, Marcus Jones did that to Gesicki on the last play, but they didn't call it. So it's a 50-50 call, I guess.
Did you want to talk about your boy Hunter Henry?
Hunter Henry, the only offensive player
Big
to
game
produce
Hunter?
today. The only offensive player to produce. I think he had 7 for 105 and a touchdown.
115.
Like
it was a career high.
Yeah. And I think, okay, he had 7 catches. No one else had more than 3. He had 122 yards, you said?
115.
115 yards. No one had more than 39.
Yeah.
He got a touchdown. Nobody else on offense scored a touchdown.
No.
So you said if they didn't have Marcus Jones in this game, if they didn't have Hunter Henry, they would have gotten blown out. So credit to him.
That's fair.
A good game for him. And it turned out to be like when he scored the touchdown, you're like, okay, it's happening. Like the floodgates are open. The floodgates never open. So it was a pretty big touchdown.
Austin Hooper also had a nice performance.
Justin Hooper. That's what Kevin Harlan called him on the broadcast. Justin Hooper.
That's funny. 3 catches for 39 yards is the most Austin Hooper stat line imaginable, I feel like.
One was 21 yards too. So
that's always how it works too. He's always got like one long one where you don't really understand how he caught the ball, and then he does, and he's like falling, and he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Good player.
I have a question for you. I'm not a fantasy guy. I'm doing it this year. Really checked out. Really not interesting. Pretty boring. Has there ever been an MVP quarterback where like none of his pass catchers are viable fantasy options because on any given week, most of them have 3 or fewer catches?
I don't know that for certain, but yeah, it's a really good point. Stephon Diggs is like the most fantasy relevant. Kayshon Boutte when he was on that stretch, but still, like those guys have down performances. Today being one of them.
Mm-hmm. They each had 1 catch, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Diggs had 2 or 3.
Did he?
Diggs had 2 catches for 20 yards.
Oh,
Boutte had 2 catches for 15 yards. You were 0 for 2 on that one.
I do. The problem is 8 and 9. Neither of them look like them. Like that. Who is that? Is that Diggs? Is that Douglas? Is that Boutte? Like the numbers all being 3s, 8 or 9s. Difficult. Tough for us.
I think that's fair. So
I had a boom. I had another boom for you. You ready?
I've got one too. Should we say it on 3?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Andy Borregales. Look at that. AB. One more. One of the other. All right. So we can say it about the 4 people we've mentioned so far. If they didn't play today, you would have lost. He was nails. The 52-yarder was great.
Yeah.
52, 45, 41, 19.
And 19-yarders aren't like those can go one way or the other.
Yeah. Do you practice those anymore? And then 2 extra points in a game where every point mattered. He was nails, and that does it. That's not nothing.
No, he was. He was very good in this performance. He's in this game. He's been. He had a miss last week, right?
Against the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But I mean, beyond since week 2, he's been a very good kicker. So seems like they found a good one in Andy Borregales. Don't think Mike Vrabel's ever been madder to have to settle for a field goal than he did on that one. Mike Vrabel also mad after the game that we were talking about the Patriots injury luck this season.
I didn't know he was like a Red Sox fan in 2003, superstitious level with the, thanks for talking so much about injuries. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
I know.
That's interesting. I mean, he was pissed. When people are pissed, they say things they don't mean, but do you think he's really that superstitious?
I don't know. I thought it was a little silly, but it's okay. We can move on.
It was unfortunate. My former colleague Steve Burton did a sit-down interview with Jared Wilson and Will Campbell this week, and everyone that I saw on Twitter was eating it up, loving it.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Then they both got hurt.
Yeah, it was really cool to see those guys together. I saw that interview, but
tough break.
Are we ready to move on to dooms? Because
that's it for my booms.
We're going to talk about Andy Borregales' majestic kicks.
I had 3 booms in the honorable mention. So you didn't have Carlton Davis on your booms.
No, I did. I had Henry, Jones, Davis, and Borregales.
4 booms.
I had 4 booms.
I thought we were 3 booms.
I mix it up.
Okay. All right. I got a lot of dooms.
I will start off. I'll start off with Christian Gonzalez. He led up a touchdown to Mitch Tinsley.
I mean, entered the game, a 2022 undrafted rookie entered the league, entered this game with 10 catches for 39 yards in his career, if I'm not mistaken. 1 touchdown.
39?
I'll double check. I'll fact check myself. But I had to Google this man's first name 11 times today. That way it's safe. He came in. I'm sorry. 3 catches for 49 yards.
Okay, I was gonna say 10 for 39. That is impressive.
10 games this year. So I guess
okay.
He went, and that was immediately after T. Higgins left with the concussion. Christian Gonzalez was like, "Who's this?" And he got beat for a touchdown. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's been good this season. He hasn't been lights out. Obviously had the injury to start the season. And otherwise, before he allowed that touchdown, I was actually in the process of putting him and Carlton Davis both on the booms list just because they had limited T. Higgins pretty well in this game.
A lot of shorter underneath stuff.
And then when you see Davis have the DPI and Christian Gonzalez have the touchdown, you move them right back down to the dooms. And then Carlton Davis obviously made up for it. Christian Gonzalez didn't as much. But yeah, I mean, you allow a touchdown to Mitch Tinsley, unfortunately, you make the doom list.
I would say this. This is what I wrote right here. It's written down. Typed, not written. That was a crazy week. Don't write ever. I said, I don't have the patience for Tinsley beating Gonzalez on a fade. And I think it goes into what you said, like the competitiveness of Carlton Davis, the competitiveness of Marcus Jones. Right. I think Christian Gonzalez has his own way about him where you can easily deduce.
This year.
No, but I'm saying you could deduce like, oh, this guy doesn't care. Even the Patriots tweet like nonchalant Gonzalez. Right. So I'm not saying that he doesn't care. But on that snap against Mitchell Tinsley, instead of thinking, oh, this is Mitchell Tinsley, whatever, you've got to think, well, I have to lock down Mitchell Tinsley today. Right. And he didn't. So I just think you can't have that from your best players. I'm trying to think of an equivalent. I don't know. I guess it's like Drake Maye sailing Hunter Henry in the first quarter for no reason for the pick 6. So you need your best players to play at the level you expect of them. Maybe it's not fair, but Mitchell Tinsley.
Do you remember Lee Tinsley?
Of course I remember Lee Tinsley. You name any Red Sox player from the 90s, and I will say, yes, I remember that player. You know what?
He was a Red Sox and a Mariner, so he's one I'll use on Immaculate Grid sometimes.
I have an Immaculate Grid cheat code for you and anyone else out there. Do people still do Immaculate Grid?
Steve Buckley definitely does. Shout out to Steve Buckley.
I was never good at it. It's just not how my brain works where I can remember all these things. Mm-hmm. Darren Bragg, Red Sox outfielder of my youth. Yeah. He has the most jersey numbers I've ever seen on Pro Baseball Reference. He has 9 jersey numbers.
Wow.
He played for the Mariners, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, the Rockies, the Mets, the Yankees, the Braves, the Padres, the Reds. 0 repeats.
That's wild. I use Darren Bragg for Mariners, Red Sox sometimes too.
11 years and 8 teams.
So did he play for all those actual teams too? He wasn't just like in the organization. Yeah, he did. Holy crap.
Not a lot of games for the Yankees or Padres or Mets, but he played for all those teams.
Wow. Yeah, played 3 years for
the
Red Sox,
time.
For the Mariners.
I think it's time the Veterans Committee does its job and puts him in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Hey, and a 9 career WAR. That's not for nothing.
It pretty much is, really, but it's better than negative,
For 916 games, he averages a WAR per 100 games.
He had like 1 decent season in 11 years, like total in terms of impact. Anyways.
Yeah, I forgot he was actually like a starter.
This is not Bragg chat. This is Pat's chat. I have a doom for you.
All right, what is it?
It's Caleb on
Hold on. Is it Bragg Gab?
It's not Bragg Gab. Caleb on Chason for jumping off sides on a 4th down play when they weren't snapping the ball. That's bad. And then later, letting Joe Flacco escape a sack, letting like a frail bag of bones. All due respect to 40-year-olds. We have a lot of respect for 40-year-olds. You've got to complete that sack and not let him step away. And then the drive where he did jump off sides, that drive ended with a Landry sack. So he owes Landry, I don't know, lunch. Nothing crazy.
Right. It was funny because the offsides was basically inconsequential. They wound up right back where they were before the
10-yard sack. Yeah.
But it could have been so much worse.
It's just 4th down. It's just basic football. He went off sides with about 1 second left on the play clock too.
Yeah.
You see guys time it. You wait till it hits 0, then you do what you did there.
Right. No,
That was a bad football play.
he was on mine too. Drake Maye was on mine, and I know might be harsh. He definitely made some good throws, but it was the worst start to a game of his career. And it's not like the second half was him just making big time throw after big time throw after big time throw. He made some good throws, but that game was way too tight. That was a weird noise from my throat. That game was way too tight against a bad team than it should have been. If he had been able to take over the game in the second half, then it would have been a much more comfortable win. He wasn't able to. That's why they had to keep trying to score from the 1 yard line and fail. But just sometimes he has to make the doom list, and I think today it was one of them.
A lot of indigestion between you and myself right now. Not sure what's going on. It's witching hour. I have two things on that. One is the way we just laid things out. If Drake Maye didn't show up to the field today and quarterback X plays, do you think they win?
Well, I mean, no.
So I do think he made up for how he was really bad early, like no doubt about it, and that's definitely a demerit. But
that pick
I
was
do
very
think
costly. That allowed the Bengals to stay in the game basically the entire game.
Yeah, but you also, I don't know, you were up 10 in the fourth quarter. That's where you probably would have liked him to be better. Like I put more fault on him there than I do early. Well, either way, I think if you don't have Drake Maye in this game and you have Jacoby Brissett, you lose. So if that's you hold him to a higher standard than that, and I understand that. So I'm not really fighting you on it. And then the other way I look at this game, I think Cam Newton had a better Sunday than Drake Maye. You know,
maybe, yeah. He might have looked at that game and been like, I don't know.
Yeah. See that? Did you see it? And so when we watch him on First Take on ESPN, which we know he's on First Take on twice a week, you can catch Cam Newton on First Take, which we all know. We'll see if he has a follow up. But yeah, it wasn't a game. It was a game that should have been very easy for an MVP caliber quarterback, and it was not.
Yeah, that's the thing. And given the quality of the Bengals defense, I don't know how insert quarterback here would have played. But Drake Maye made too many bad throws and decisions in this one for me.
I need help for my next doom because I have coming out of the 2-minute warning. It was 3rd and 7. The Bengals had one timeout. The Patriots called a pass play to Stephon Diggs. I have a doom 3rd and 7 play call. Idiotic. I don't remember the play. Do you?
I don't know either.
Oh, well, it was a pass to Diggs. That was unsuccessful. I'll look it up at some point, but that was a doom for me.
That was a doom? All right, fair.
That was a doom.
I've got some ideas of dooms.
Yeah, I have one too.
The short yards rushing attack is a doom.
It's a doom.
I think you could narrow that down more to Ramondre Stevenson or the run blocking, but just that overall operation was about as bad as you can get.
Yeah. And I watched my friends on NBC Sports post game, and the way Ted Johnson phrased it was perfect. Where it's just, my good friend Ted Johnson, we're buddies.
Yeah. You guys bench the same amount.
Well, no. Situations where the other team knows you're running it, you still have to be able to get the yard. And it's like, even if you say
yard,
even if you announce we're going to run it there, you should be able, if you're a self-respecting team, you should be able to get it. And now that's talking once or twice, not 6 times.
Right.
So really just I would say that's a crisis.
Yeah, it was bad. And then the last one was the run defense. There were some big runs in there that kind of skewed the yardage a little bit, but overall, you would have definitely liked to have seen them stop Chase Brown and the Bengals rushing attack much better.
Yeah. I had more specifically the letdown before halftime. I just think in a game that ended up being tighter than you thought, you scored a field. You had a field goal with 33 seconds left.
Yeah.
And you give up a 21-yard run and a 16-yard catch to T. Higgins. And then granted, it was a 63-yard bomb, but McPherson hit it with 7 yards to spare. That would have been good from 70. So I don't love. There was a lack of focus against a bad team, I think, and that was probably evidence of that.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair. Let's do. Let's talk about Prize Picks again real quick, because this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. Weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Let's just make a quick Prize Picks lineup for the 49ers and Panthers. Do you have any strong feelings about these teams?
Well, much like the Patriots Bengals, I would say load up on Niners offensive players.
You know what I'm going to do? They've got Brian Robinson less than 24 and a half rushing yards. I'm going to go with less.
Yeah, that's a good one. I had him on my fantasy team, talk about fantasy, because I'm like, well, McCaffrey will get hurt, and then I'll look smart. Didn't happen, so I got rid of him. Yeah.
I'm going to go Rico Dowdle, since he's on a hot one.
Give me more.
75 and a half. I'm going to go more.
That's high, but I'll take the more.
And then I'm looking at the rest here.
It's McCaffrey.
McCaffrey rush yards?
Yeah.
71 and a half.
What's his receiving yards?
His receiving yards.
I'll take both.
43 and a half.
Oh, give me that one.
Rush plus receiving 124.5.
Does that even add? Yeah, it's about exactly if you add them up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take
All right,
both.
I'll do that one too. All right, so hey, that's $20 entry fee to win $120. So
I miss
hitting submit right this second. You can do the same thing. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. I do want to talk about Cam Newton and Stephen A. Smith, even though it's so late. Yeah.
First, real quick off that, I missed the Mac Jones era. The Mac Jones era was fun in San Francisco.
It was, I know.
And even though you did see that arm can't really throw the ball like an NFL quarterback, it was fun.
Wait, Mac Jones era in San Francisco, not in New England.
No, not in New England.
I don't miss that.
So I'm going to live play-by-play the 3rd and 7 call that
go ahead.
Because I brought it up. I haven't watched it yet. So it's 3rd and 7. We got a shotgun formation. Someone's out right. Looks like Booty. We've got
what's the situation? Like time?
3rd and 7, coming out of the 2-minute warning. Patriots are up by 3. The Bengals have 1 timeout left. If you run it, they got to use their last timeout.
Oh, yeah.
They decided to pass. I assume it's Henry, Diggs, and Hollins to the left. All right. Henry does a little dummy motion right to left. May takes the shotgun snap. Oh, it was pressure right up the A gap.
Oh, yeah.
And May just kind of threw it should have been picked.
Oh, yeah. Into double coverage. I remember that play.
Yeah. Diggs was pretty upset, but that probably should have been picked. So I don't know that I love the play call. Certainly not the Vidarian Lowe went out and didn't go in and allowed him in just to run right in Drake Maye's face. So, some failures across the board. Glad we did that. Moving on.
So it's all been covered, but I still wanted to talk about it for a second. Stephen A. Smith. So this hasn't been covered. Stephen A. Smith apologized to Drake Maye, said he was facetious, but said the one thing he wasn't facetious about was that he still didn't believe that Drake Maye didn't know that Cam Newton was on first take.
No, he manipulated it. He said, I still don't believe you when you say you don't know where Cam Newton works. He didn't say that.
Right.
He said he didn't know what show he's on. He literally said, because I didn't know what show he was on. I see the clips on social media. I don't watch First Take. That's normally where I'd say that's normally where I'd say because I have a job. Unfortunately, I can't finish that sentence, but I don't watch First Take. And I know Cam Newton's on ESPN in various capacities. I would not have been able to tell you with a definitive degree of confidence that it was First Take.
I did not know because I saw him on a clip with Damien Woody. Is Damien Woody on First Take? Who knows what shows these guys are on?
They're on ESPN. That's all you know. And Stephen A's apology was like, I don't believe that you don't know where he works.
Right.
And that's not what he said. And it's just, it's a really childish thing. To me, it felt like, oh, wow, we're back. Like New England is back on the map, baby. Like I feel like there was something out there. Like the Patriots were actually like rootable for America. Like America's darling. I think that's going too far. But maybe ESPN they're not aware of it. They're like, oh, the Patriots are here. We got to dump on him somehow? I don't know. I don't know what the conversation is.
Hold on. So if people want me to apologize for that, that's fine. Smith continued. I wasn't serious about him lying. I don't know whether he was lying or not. I just said, don't tell me you don't know where Cam Newton was working. You don't know he's on First Take twice a week. I don't believe that. I just don't.
That's an all-time line. But then he did reiterate the "you don't know where he works" thing.
Yeah, he did reiterate that, but I'm sorry, Stephen. We don't know that Cam Newton's on First Take twice a week. Like, most people don't know. Like, I understand that you get so accustomed to your job, you just assume that everyone knows everything about it. But no, we don't all know that Cam Newton's on First Take twice a week. Yeah. We do now.
I'm very aware now. So I guess if this was
good,
a viral
good job by
campaign,
them. Yeah.
I actually was really drawn to a line from Stephen A. Smith. All right, ready? This I want to get tattooed on my chest. Ready? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do a Stephen A. Smith voice. I'm going to read it normal, but just picture it. But I need you to understand something that's very important for you to understand. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm not here to be disliked, but I don't give a damn either. I say what I say. If I'm playing around like I was yesterday, that's different. But if I rub you the wrong way from time to time, so be it. I don't want to make enemies. I really don't. I'm not trying to be hated, but I'm not here to ensure that doesn't happen either. All right. Yep.
Fair enough. I think the big thing here is
they were mean to Drake Maye. They were mean to him.
Well, there's also just like something about Cam Newton being on that show. It doesn't fully work. He kind of talks for a long time without saying anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He really plays it up, and it's kind of hard to watch. And that's, I liked Cam Newton a lot when he was on the Patriots, when I was covering him. But something about him being on that show, he plays too much of a character, and you wind up just wanting to turn it off because it gets kind of awkward after a while.
So he's an entertainer, and I find it entertaining when he, like that, the clip where Stephen A called him a liar. Whatever Cam was sort of meandering about before that, I thought was very, like, he was in a crowd. He was sort of playing to the crowd. I thought he was
playing to the crowd. Yeah. I don't know if he's playing to TV viewers.
I have no idea I have no recollection of what he said to retort to Drake Maye. But it is like the clip from a couple of weeks ago where he was sort of disgusted with the suggestion that Drake Maye is the best deep ball thrower. It's just clear he doesn't do homework. Like Dan Orlovsky's on a show. Mina Kimes is on a show. They're doing their homework. Ryan Clark is on a show. He's doing his homework. Cam's not there to do his homework and tell you what he sees. He's there to sort of orate.
Right.
And that one was the worst one, where he was disgusted when they said he's the best deep thrower because he just started saying everyone's middle name. Like he was like Stephen Anthony Smith and Woody blank, Damian blank Woody. Like he was just filibustering.
Yeah, he was filibustering. Yeah.
Had nothing of substance to say, which like, so I don't know. I don't, plus like the point isn't crazy. Like to the overall point of like, I don't fully believe in the Patriots as a contender is fine. But then he's like, give me the Colts, give me Carly Ursay's Colts. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? Right. Like, what are you talking about? So I don't know. It was probably much to do about nothing, but still, it's the first time in a long time the Patriots have been at the center of like a ESPN national media spat.
Yeah, no, it is. And I thought I tweeted about this, but Stephen A. Smith's point after calling Drake Maye a liar that athletes should respect athletes also made no sense because Cam Newton was basically disrespecting Drake Maye by laughing at the idea that he was the best deep ball thrower in the NFL. So then Drake's not allowed to say that he doesn't know what show. Like it was just like, what are we doing here? But I do think it's not like in the clip that they showed of Drake Maye and Stephon Diggs before the game doing their handshake. Stephon Diggs doing the Superman and Drake Maye shaking his head at it. Like it's probably I love that. I think it's funny. But I also think that maybe if you are Drake Maye, it's tough because you're 23 years old and you're not as like the most, obviously just based on age, you're not like literally you're not mature. But, and I'm not saying it was immature of him to do that, but I think that it's probably best to just take the high road and not even acknowledge it.
To be fair,
as difficult as that is.
To be fair, Diggs kind of did it to him.
I know, yeah. But I think it was
and if he did it or
looked
didn't
a little
do it,
pre-planned.
Maybe,
right?
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm a little naive.
I don't know.
I'm a
So
naive little bunny.
I'm not criticizing Drake Maye about it. I think that the Patriots as a whole, when that happens, it's best to just be like, let those guys talk. Like whatever. They won't even respond to it.
I mean, it is kind of a shame that Cam, you want him to be unbiased in his role,
right?
But you don't have to be like go out of your way to be wrong and say he's not good at throwing the ball deep, which he is. Especially given he's a Carolina kid and has like stated many times
and
he
has
was
like
hero growing up.
Right. There was like 7-on-7 matchups between Cam Newton and Drake Maye's teams. Like there's a history there. So and Drake Maye literally said, "I stopped being a Panthers fan when they released Cam Newton." So in the hometown team or Cam Newton, he picked Cam Newton in that situation.
Which means he hates the Patriots, I think. So there's your next controversy.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say when you said Stephen A's point about athletes need to respect other athletes.
Yeah.
Did you see Ryan Clark's response to that?
He think so.
Stephen A in a locker. Stephen A was pissed. Stephen A went silent. So I don't know if Ryan Clark is on First Take anymore after that. I'm not familiar with his schedule. Believe me, Stephen A. But
can they make the schedule public? Can we get on those Slacks, those emails?
Like a little when to work for everyone to see. That way we know exactly who's on when. Because I'd like to know. I want to catch Cam's response to this.
It was also fine. Like, so I think I even saw Dan Orlovsky on First Take. So he's on. Like, if people are on multiple shows, then no, you don't know what show they said it on. That makes it confusing.
Like, I guess if I thought about it and like really sat down and I was like, all right, I guess he's not on NFL Live because that's more of like a reporter analyst show. He's not on the Mike Greenberg show. Is he?
Is Damian Woody on the Mike Greenberg show?
Yes.
So he was on with Woody. Cam Newton was. That was the deep ball conversation. I don't know if it was on Get Up, but Cam Newton was having that debate with Damian Woody.
Yeah, this is deep. We've gone deep.
We will never uncover this. We'll never figure this out.
I sure won't. Anyways, Doug.
We'll see what happens with Will Campbell and Jared Wilson over the next few days.
Did Khyiris Tonga return to the game?
These are not serious. I don't think he did, but he stayed on the sideline.
The play-by-play said he returned, but I don't recall seeing him.
He returned once. I don't know. I don't know. Brenden Schooler did not return, though. He had a walking boot on in the locker room. Jared Wilson had a walking boot on in the locker room. We did not see Will Campbell. So certainly hoping for the best for all three of those guys. Hopefully they miss no time. And all of this was for naught, but still concerning to see them come out of the game.
I agree. Do you want real quick what everyone's mad at me on Twitter about tonight?
Oh, yeah. I love this.
So Kevin Harlan, who I think probably is
Mike's
favorite.
dislikes.
No, I think Kevin Harlan is probably my favorite play-by-play guy. I love Monday Night Radio. He does it with Kurt Warner. It's a great broadcast. I believe he still does. I clearly don't have a record of what every media guy's doing. But the 45-yarder, not the 45, the 3rd and 11 deep ball to Pop Douglas, Kevin Harlan called it and said, 45, touchdown, attempt, and it's the first down. Like, he just screwed out. He had a brain fart. And I tweeted it out. Said, like, I wouldn't have called that a touchdown, personally. A lot of people are saying, idiot. He said he was touched down. And it's just not what he said. And a lot of people, I don't know how it spreads on the internet. Like, it's not a ton of retweets, but it's getting a ton of replies. It's landing its way. And people are, you have a way you say touchdown,
right?
And that's what he did. He just had a little mistake, and it was funny, and it's okay. You don't have to get mad at little old Michael. He's just a nice boy on the internet.
Well, it's good for the algorithm. So hopefully all those people are hate watching Pat's chat right now.
Oh yeah. This is I don't have a punny blank chat when it comes to play-by-play.
Chat.
Doesn't work. Anyways, their Patriots are 10-2.
They are. The Patriots 10-2, 9-game winning streak. They play the Giants on Monday night. We'll get into that game this week. And then they finally got their bye. So maybe some rest will do this team some good. But they missed Milton Williams today. They missed Will Campbell. They missed Jared Wilson. And Drake Maye's got to come out playing a little bit better, and the run game has to be better. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah, and Josh McDaniels, I think, has a big challenge if the time to throw now has to go down to 2 seconds.
Right, because this was not his greatest performance. This was not a banner or vintage Josh McDaniels performance today.
Some haters would argue it was a vintage Josh McDaniels performance, but not me. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the Patriots are now 2.5 games above the Bills in the AFC East. Real quick rant. I tweeted after the Bills lost, the Patriots are now have a 2-game lead over the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I got too many replies that said, actually it's 3, or actually it's 2.5. Well, it's 3 because they have the tiebreaker. It's
Isn't
actually 2.5 because they have the tiebreaker. At the time, it was 2 because
they play again.
The Patriots currently have the tiebreaker. They play again.
They play again. Like that tiebreaker is not set. It's not.
No, it's not
like, oh,
set
they
in
got
stone.
that.
That doesn't give them a 3-game lead if they're only up by 2. It's a 2-game lead. Like
that
guys,
game.
You don't have to correct everything you see on Twitter, especially if you're not correct in your correction.
Yeah.
You don't have to have well, isn't it actually? If it's not, then you don't have to say anything.
Yeah. I tweeted something like, barring a scene of, I was like, barring a series of crazy events, the Patriots are going to win the AFC East. And there was a number of people on the opposite side of that, like, actually, it's not crazy. Blah, blah, blah. Like, well, if Drake Maye doesn't get hurt, the Patriots are going to win the AFC East. That's what I meant, but I don't want to tweet it because everyone get mad at me if you put those words out as one. But yeah, and
only team in the AFC that has 10 wins. Also, Colts lost today.
Only team with 10 wins.
Stephon Diggs' reaction to that? Yay.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be within their grasp, basically. Like, I think they have a better chance of winning out even without Will Campbell than the Colts. I mean, than the Broncos will. It's just an easier schedule. Final rant of the day: the Drake Maye throwaway where he fell forward and threw it forward, and they ruled it a fumble.
That was bad.
I know they play it out just in case it's a fumble.
I know
the ball was thrown forward in a tight spiral.
Yeah,
tight spiral. Like it.
From my view in the press box, I did not know what happened on that play. You would hope that at least one official saw what happened on that play.
That's the thing. It's a whole crew. You got a ref, you got an umpire, you got a side judge, a line judge, back judge.
Yeah.
I think there's 7 of them on the field. None of them saw him throw the football, which was a little disturbing. But anyways, that's what we have cameras for.
It's true. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.